Hello everybody, and welcome to another Ravnica Allegiance Draft here on the channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Before I begin, I do want to remind you that if you enjoy the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. It really does help me out a ton, and if the video gets to 50 thumbs up, I will be doing a in-depth draft analysis and posting that in the comments section down below. Also, if you do want to support the channel and get updates for when I post new content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is a great way to support the channel. And finally, if you have any comments, be sure to leave those in the comments section down below. Questions, things you want to ask. I am going to be doing a Q&A episode soon, so be sure to leave questions for that in the comments as well. But without further ado, let's get into the draft. Hello, and welcome to another draft here on the channel. We are going to dive right in. We're using the 5-pick method, my favorite method for drafting these types of sets, where we're just going to try and take the best card out of each pack and then figure out what's open from there after the first 5 picks. Hero of Precinct 1 is pretty good. There are certain decks that can really leverage it, but however, it's not as good as it would be in Standard, where you can fill your deck with tons of multicolored cards. In Draft, you don't tend to have as many multicolored cards, so probably not going to take it here. Galloping Lizrog is a card that I do think is fine, but it is very slow, and I think that the Simic decks are already pretty good in the late game, so I'm really not looking to take Lizrog here. Pteramander, pretty effective, but again, very slow, and you usually don't need the extra finishers in Simic. So I think Pteramander is fine, but nothing insane. Sphinx of New Prov, however, is unbelievable. I'm going to take that here. It's just really strong. On turn 4, you pretty much are guaranteed to win if you play this on turn 4. Blade Juggler is also really good, but I think Sphinx of New Prov is good enough to be worth taking over a card as good as Blade Juggler. So I think in this pack I go Sphinx of New Prov, then Blade Juggler, and then the Pteramander, and then Hero, and then Lizrog, I think, in that pack. Okie doke. Looking at this next pack, this card is really efficient removal. Bedeck, +3/-3, so you can just use it as a kill spell. It's not really a pump spell. So you can just kill their stuff right away. 2 for 2 mana, which is really effective. You can even kill a lot of 4-drops with that at instant speed, which is quite nice. So that is my front runner right now. Daggercaster is a card that I think is good, but I think it's a little bit worse than Bedeck Bedazzle just because it's a little bit slower, a little bit harder to guarantee value with it, though it is quite good. Sphinx of the Guild Pact, I think, is much too slow to be good, and so I think 7 mana is just not really strong enough to be worth it. Actually, One Slippery Nipple, I think Summary Judgment is way worse than both Daggercaster and Bedeck, so I think I'm going to take the Bedeck over the Summary Judgment, and after that I would take Daggercaster, and then I think I would take the Summary Judgment third out of this pack. I think it is the third best card. But Bedeck Bedazzle is just really efficient removal for 2 mana. Summary Judgment's might seem similar to Bedeck, but the fact that you can use this on offense is really a key part of why it's good. Okie doke. Pick 3. There is a Fireblade Artist, which is a card that I have been impressed with. There's also a Zertog Goblin, which I think is the clear front runner for best card in this pack. Zertog Goblin, you can play Bedeck in a mono red deck just for double red, which is really nice as well. So Zertog Goblin, I can still play the Bedeck as well. Even though, you might think, oh, this is a Rakdos card, but this is really a mono red card / mono black card / Rakdos card, so it works either way, kind of like how Senate Griffin works. That's how hybrid mana cards really work in general. I think Zertog Goblin is the best card in this pack. I think the next best card is probably the Fireblade Artist, and then the Scorchmark, and then maybe Senate Griffin over Scorchmark. I like Senate Griffin quite a bit. Just having the access to a 3-powered flyer for 4 mana means that you can really push through damage in the air and be pretty effective that way. But I think Zertog Goblin is the best card by a reasonable margin in this pack. Just playing this on turn 2 is so brutal for the opponent, because oftentimes they'll take 6 or even 9 damage from it because some 3-drops can't even block it, so it's just really effective there. So pretty happy to get that here. And now looks like we are seeing broken cards. #Slimebind. No, I'm just kidding. Frenzied Airings. I mean, it isn't a broken card, but it's a very solid card, and it works with this kind of Gruul thing that we've started to see here. If you kind of think about how this pack has gone, a lot of people, if they started with a Sphinx of New Prov, might have gone Sphinx of New Prov, Summary Judgment, and then played the Senate Griffin, and then maybe taken an Azorius Night Arbiter, or an Arrestor Zeal or Dovins, or something like that. But I think that with this method, where we just took this card, even though it had nothing to do with Sphinx, we managed to ease ourselves into a deck that is overall going to be more open and easier to draft after the first 4 or 5 picks. And Frenzied Airings is really quite a powerhouse. I think it's really good and easily the best card in this pack. And after it, nothing else is really even competing with it for a spot in the limelight. Okie doke. Carnival Carnage is a card that is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's broken by any means. but definitely a solid pick. Maybe we could transfer into Rakdos from here. I think that Carnival, like, if Carnival kills a creature, it's pretty nice. It's over. I don't think it's insane, though. I think the 4-mana deal 3, make them discard a couple is a bit inefficient and slow. So, like, if they're playing creatures and you're playing that, then you end up in a bit of a pickle. And the first half is nice, but it doesn't kill a lot of creatures. Like, a lot of creatures just dodge that. Sentinel's Mark is pretty good. I think it's a little bit better than Arrester's Zeal just because it sticks around, and also because the life gain can be incredibly relevant. It's also really, really good on Sphinx of Nuprov, I will say, though the creature gains vigilance, doubles up. I think I am going to take it here over Territorial Boar and Rakdos Guildgate. I don't think this card is worth taking over this type card. I think Sentinel's Mark is quite nice. Okie doke. Where are we at here in this pack? Okay, this pack, the 2 cards that jump out to me are Burning Tree Vandal, a card that I really do like, and also Rebel Pelt Runner, a card that is may not look super impressive, but is actually quite strong. I think Gruul has been more open overall. I just think that last pack may have been a bit of an anomaly. Blade Brain, not a card I'm a super high on taking, super like early and stuff. But Burning Tree Vandal, Rebel Pelt Runner are both quite nice. I'm not really taking a gate before I'm positive which guild I'm in. I think if you end up with less gates than your opponents, it's not going to be a big deal. A lot of the cards, like Zertog Goblin, like it's good to have a couple gates because then you can maximize your odds of playing it on turn 2. But overall, not super important. I think I'm going to take the I'm going to take the Burning Tree Vandal here. I think Burning Tree's a little bit better. It does trade with more stuff, but it's also like really, really nice for getting your extra lands out of your hand or finding lands if you need those. Here, the Roustabout's pretty good, but I think Burning Tree Vandal might just be better than that. Gift of Strength is fine, but I don't really like to take that here. I'll play Biomancy's probably the best card in the pack, but it's the first like Simic-y card we've seen, and I really don't think we're going to be going Simic here. I think that we're going to be going probably Gruul at this point, maybe Rakdos, but probably Gruul, maybe, and then there's an off chance we go Azorius. So it's between Burning Tree Vandal and Gravelhide Goblin, and I think Burning Tree Vandal is just better. Gravelhide Goblin is just a very medium 2-drop. A lot of the time you're not going to be able to activate the ability for 4, and even then it's usually only in the extreme late game. And I really just do like having Burning Tree Vandal as a premium 3-drop. Okey-doke. So here, there's a Feral Maca. There is a Rebel Slinger. There's a Rakdos Guildgate. Prowling Caracol is a card that I actually think is pretty nice. On turn 2, if you're playing an Azorius deck, you can kind of get off to a beat-down start. Play some Prowling Caracols. Then play your like Sphinx of Nuprov on turn 4 and like kind of just tempo the opponent out before they can really stabilize. And Prowling Caracol is a really nice 2-drop for that type of strategy because it hits so hard. Here, though, I'm looking at Rebel Slinger as a just medium 3-drop. Rakdos Guildgate to potentially splash stuff, but it's not really looking like I want to splash stuff in this deck anyway. And then Feral Maca, just in case I want another 2-drop, but I think I'm just going to take the Rebel Slinger. It's just a solid 3-drop. And now we will take the Gravelhide Goblin as the only really reasonable card for our colors in this pack. I think Dead Rebels and Plague White are both nice, but we're not really playing black in any capacity here. And Axebane Beast is just mediocre and really not a card you want to be playing. And then Active Treason is just, you can take it or leave it. It's just, I mean, Active Treason is a card that you'll only play in the most hyper-aggressive decks, and then it'll be good. But usually it's just bad. Okay, so I think Arrester's Zeal is better than where it is right now in this pack. I think Arrester's Zeal is quite nice. But as it is, we're just going to take the Rakdos Guildgate. Maybe we'll splash a Get the Point or something of that nature if we need one. Or if we open a bomb. Scorchmark came back, some nice removal for us. Really think red is probably open at this point. Red-white aggro, let's go! Really not going to happen because we have such powerful green cards to help us in our aggro ways, but here we'll just take a Burn Bright. Probably not going to ever play that, but you never know. And, yeah, I think Arrester's Zeal is really nice, but I'm not going to be playing those colors, so I guess I'll just... I'll take an Undercity Scavenger. I'm more likely to play that color. And Cerulean Caretaker and Tower Defense. Okie doke. So after pack 1, we really have a solid curve here. We have a couple of removal spells, a couple of decent 2-drops, some decent 3s. We do want a little bit more top end, but overall this deck is looking quite strong. I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. So yeah, we have a pretty good curve so far. A little bit heavier on 3s, but that's generally where you end up. And looking at this pack, there's a light up the stage, which is a pretty nice effect. It's like basically a draw to a lot of the time. All of our cards can be used proactively. We don't have any like counter spells. So I think light up the stage is probably going to be the pick out of this pack. Frilled Mystic is a card that I think is quite nice. However, I think I do want to note something about playing around Frilled Mystic. If your opponent leaves up mana to play a Frilled Mystic type card, and you have seen Frilled Mystic from them, or they act like they kind of have it, if you are ahead on board, you can just not cast a spell, and then the Frilled Mystic just trades with the creature in 1-for-1s instead of 2-for-1s. Because when Frilled Mystic gets a 2-for-1, it's really bad for you a lot of the time. Another thing in this pack, Macabre Mockery, keep in mind that you can use this on your opponent's turn and use it as a removal spell. That's something I didn't realize when I first read the card, but it's definitely something that I'm sure they had in mind when they made it. You can just bring a creature back, block their guy, and it'll be pretty effective. Lawmage's Binding is quite nice, but we're not looking to be in that direction. And there is a Gruul Guildgate, but we do have the Zerta, but I think I would definitely rather have a light up the stage at this point. And Nikia of the Old Ways. This is a card that I think is quite effective, but maybe not as good as it would look. You really need to have ways to use your creatures effectively for Nikia to be good, and it kind of warps the way you construct your deck in such a way that I think I would rather have Sorrowform Hybrid. I like being able to play cards like Light Up the Stage. I like having the ability to top deck removal spells in key situations. And Nikia, I did get a chance to play with her, and the mana ability never really came up, which was kind of my first estimation of her, but I really think getting to play with her is a pretty interesting component of learning that part. A Light Up the Stage is fine, but it is kind of hard to use properly. I think I'd rather just have a really nice 2-drop here that can give me some nice late game value. Sorrowform Hybrid is really going to fit the ticket here. One of the best commons for sure. Okie doke. Now here the choice is pretty easy. Savage Smash is one of the premium reasons to be in Gruul. It's a really, really good fight spell. A lot of the times, it gives you the Afterlife tokens. Plays well the ETB. I'm not exactly sure which card you're talking about, Belangia Joe, but yeah, I'll just move on. I'm sure you'll clarify. Savage Smash I think is a really good pick here. It's a fight spell that can kill a lot of things because you'll have like a 4/4 and you'll just kill their guy with it. Clamor Shaman is fine, but it's not unbelievable. Oh, Macabre Walker. Oh yeah. Macabre Mockery also has like a lot of it has some synergies like that as well. So if you like get a Chillbringer back from your opponent, then you can do some good things. We're definitely not taking the Rakdos Firewheeler. We're definitely more of a Gruul player at this point. Savage Smash is a really nice card. Taking it over the Clamor Shaman because Clamor Shaman is often a little bit too small to be able to attack anyway, and over the Gravelhide Goblin, which will probably wheel anyway. Okie doke. Rix Madi Reveler. Keep in mind that you can just play this as a 2-drop, and when it enters the battlefield, you discard a card and then draw a card. You don't have to have Spectacle for this to be good, so in a lot of packs, this would be the pick. However, I think Sorrowform Hybrid is just better. In my case, like if I was a Rakdos deck, I'd prefer the Rix Madi Reveler, but but because Sorrowform Hybrid is just a better 2-drop, I'm just going to take that. Because in the late game, this card lets you get rid of an extra land and helps you like smooth your draws, but this card's just like a legitimate threat. Macabre. I can say Macabre. What was I saying? Macabre? Macabre. Yeah, I know how it's pronounced. At least I hope I was pronouncing it correctly. But yeah, definitely taking the Sorrowform Hybrid here. Sorrowform Hybrid is really good. And now looking at this pack, one important note about Clear the Stage is don't get trapped by this. If you're new to drafting the format and you haven't drafted a ton, you might think, oh, I'll have 4 powered creatures. Macabre. Oh, Macabre Waltz. Oh, that's why people say it that way. I heard people say that. Macabre Mockery. Wow. You learn something new every day. Thank you, KR Magic. Clear the Stage. I mean, a lot of the time, go back to Clear the Stage. I think it's a trap because a lot of the cards don't have 4 more power in the black, red, and white colors, which is the only colors you'll really play this in ever. So I don't think it's really a great card in this format. Territorial Boar, really not where I want to be. Just a 2-mana 2/2. I already have some 2-drops, so I think I'm just going to take Sagittar's Volley. And actually, I could take. Yeah, I'm not taking Goblin Gathering. I'm just going to take Sagittar's Volley. It's a really good sideboard card, especially for Gruul decks that oftentimes need that extra help against flyers. And here we'll take a pretty free opportunity to get a Guildgate. Steeple Creeper is like a playable card in Gruul. but it's nothing special, and it's definitely worse than the extra mana consistency added by having a Gruul Guildgate. So I'm really happy to get the Gruul Guildgate here. One thing I want to talk about with Orzhov Racketeers is because I think this card is quite bad, because first of all, the first ability is really irrelevant because you're never hitting them with your 3/2 on turn 5. Second of all, a lot of the time the Afterlife isn't going to even work because they'll just kill it with a Scorch Mark and then you just lose the game, or they'll kill it with a Grotesque Demise, or they'll Law Mages binding it, and it just really isn't effective in that case. So I'm just going to take the Gruul Guildgate here. Okie doke, and now we can either take a Wrecking Beast if we really want to go super high on the curve, or we could take a Storm Strike, a card that I think is going to perform pretty well, considering we can oftentimes get off to a relatively fast start. I think we only really would want one Wrecking Beast in this type of deck, and I'm really not going to take it super highly. We're not really ramping all that much, and I think Storm Strike is actually going to perform relatively well. I wasn't a fan of this at the beginning of the format, but I think that when you have bigger creatures in your Gruul deck, like a Frenzied Airings that they might have to double block, Storm Strike gains a lot of value. Also, it's just a fine sideboard card against Death Touchers and things like that. Okie doke. I'm just going to take a Steeple Creeper here. Important to note, if I had taken the Goblin Gathering over the Sagittar's Volley, I could have had the option to take a second one. I'm not sure how correct it would have been, but it's interesting. I'm not sure, like, this card definitely can perform, especially alongside cards like Burn Bright, and I think that might be an archetype that you can go for. I just like to keep more consistent and take cards that I know are going to be good rather than gambling on Goblin Gathering when the payoff isn't necessarily always there. Okie doke, here's the Macabre Mockery. Here we're just going to take a Gruul Locket. It's not my favorite card to play, but sometimes you end up with a lot of 5-drops. We have no 5-drops right now, but Pack 3 could definitely offer us some of those. And here we're going to take a Gore Clan Wrecker. We already have a Storm Strike. We could definitely see more Combat Tricks Pack 3, and just having another 4-drop is really nice. I think Gore Clan Wrecker is a little bit underrated. The fact that they have to double block it is really important, and also the Menace is pretty nice. And now another Gravelhide Goblin, just more good 2-drops for our deck. Really just rolling in the 2-drops. Funny, if we'd gone for the Goblin thing, we could have gotten 2 Goblin things this pack, and a Cavalcade or a Burn Bright or something like that. But I don't think that's the correct play. I think this is just more consistent overall. And if you're more consistent, you're just going to win more games. I think a Bring to Trial is the best card out of the pack. The Goblin Gathering came back. I guess we'll take it. We're never siding in Active Treason. Rubble Pelt, sure. Maybe we'd side this in if our opponent had a lot of 1-toughness guys, though I doubt it. Looks like our curve is really aggressive here, so I think we would like to have a couple more combat tricks to really capitalize on the fact that we'll be putting our opponent pretty far behind a lot of the time. This may be the first Gates Ablaze I have ever opened. I think it is, or one of them. But here, the easy pick out of this pack is Skewer the Critics. Our deck is probably going to be able to get ahead pretty easily, and Skewer the Critics is just a good removal spell. This is one of the reasons why I didn't want to take the Nikia, because the Nikia really just makes you want to avoid taking non-creatures. And we're going to be playing like 6 non-creatures or more. So I really don't want to be forced to make tough decisions because of my rare that I've taken, especially when I'm taking like good cards in the same pack. I just think that's going to work out better. So Skewer the Critics is pretty good. Azorius Skyguard is a card that I see played a lot, and I see people prioritize it super heavily, but I'm really not a huge fan of Azorius Skyguard because I feel like if your opponent knows you have this, maybe it'll get them one game, but even then, it dies to every single removal spell. Savage Smash, Skewer the Critics, Grotesque Demise. Like, literally everything kills this card. I guess the Law Mage's Binding doesn't kill it, but still, pretty much everything kills Azorius Skyguard. And when you pay 6 mana for a card and it dies for like 3, you're in really bad shape. And so I really try to avoid that card when I can. Okie doke. Here, the choice for me is between the Daggercaster and another Clan Wrecker, but pretty easily the Daggercaster. I think that this card, even if you don't have any synergies with it, is really nice. You can oftentimes play against decks that have a lot of like afterlife effects, and being able to just Daggercaster them down all of their 1/1 tokens is really nice. Also, you can do things like attack your 2/2 into their 3/3, they block, you Daggercaster post-combat, and it helps you trade up. So Daggercaster, definitely a card I'm a fan of. Here, we're going to take a Mammoth Spider. It's not like the best fit for this deck, but Mammoth Spider, even if we don't main deck it, is a really potent sideboard card against some of the flying decks that are relatively prevalent in the format. And Mammoth Spider is also a fine body on its own. So pretty happy to get a Mammoth Spider here. Now we can take a Collision Colossus. I said I wanted more combat tricks, and Collision Colossus is the perfect fit. It also, I didn't mean to click it that fast. That was a misclick, double click. It also gives you some extra flying hate in the main deck. But the combat trick part of this is just really good. And I think I'm going to take a second copy of it over the Solana Wayfinder, just to give myself some extra combat trick power. Solana Wayfinder is pretty good, but it's a bit small. I already have 5 2-drops that are really quite potent. Like Gravelhide Goblin's worse than Solana Wayfinder, but it's still fine. And I think I'm just going to take more strong combat tricks here. Okie doke. So now Titanic Brawl is looking good to me. I have relatively big creatures like over here on the side, and I can also just kill small things with it. These Goblin Gatherings keep showing up. I wonder if I had just committed. I would have had 3. I would have probably had like 2 or 3 of them, but I just don't think it's that good. I mean, the 1/1s don't do anything unless you put other cards in your deck to facilitate them, like Burn Bright, and that's just a whole other archetype. I think between Gravelhide Goblin and Titanic Brawl, I'd rather have the Brawl. I don't have all that much removal. I have 1, 2, like 3 pieces of removal. 4 pieces, I guess. And I think this is a very medium 2-drop, and I could maybe even wheel it. Ooh, this is interesting. So Amplifier is an interesting card. I think I misevaluated it the first time I read it because it acts different from a lot of cards that are similar. You reveal cards until you reveal a creature, until your next turn. So on your opponent's turn, it also gets bigger. It becomes twice that card's power and twice that card's toughness. So at the minimum in my deck, it's going to be a 4/2, which isn't that great. And it happens relatively consistently. But it can also be a 6/6. It can be a 6/10. It can be a 4/4. Actually, it's not that good in my deck. Not all my creatures have like Riot and stuff. I think I might just be more consistently served taking a Gruul Beastmaster, especially because it works so well with Colossus. But Amplifier is better than you think it is. I'm going to take the Gruul Beastmaster, though. Okay, in this pack, I don't really want to take a Rubble Pelt Recluse. Like, if the Gruul Beastmaster wasn't in the pack, I'd probably have taken the Amplifier there and been pretty fine with it. 4 mana, 4/4 is a pretty good deal. So I have 3 combat tricks already. I could take a Stony Strength. I could take a Gift of Strength. I don't really want a 10 Street Dodger, and I don't like Rubble Pelt Recluse because of the number of Death Touchers in the format, and also because having to attack every turn is a real big downside. It forces you to do some bad things sometimes. I could take Gift or Stony Strength. I already have a couple of 2 mana tricks. I only have 1 1-mana trick. I think I'm going to take Stony Strength just to confuse my opponents. Now I could take Spike Wheel Acrobat. I mean, it's not my favorite card, but I have a lot of combat tricks, and I could be casting it for 3 mana a relatively consistent amount of the time. Simic Ascendancy should not be in the pack. It gives you a really good late game engine. Putting counters on your creature means that any creature you draw is effectively like a really nice threat, and Simic Ascendancy should not be in the pack. There is a Blade Brand which combos with Daggercaster, but I'm not going to splash the combo in my Gruul deck. I have splashed the combo in like Warzov, funnily enough, but I just don't think that's going to be worth it. Still, I guess there's nothing else in the pack, so I'll take it. And now a Gruul Locket, sure. Axebane Beast is a fine card, but I'm not going to have to play it in this deck. I have enough playables by a lot, so I'm actually going to be making cuts, but I will take it here. I do want to say, I don't think Incubation Incongruity is super good. Incongruity oftentimes just downgrades their creature from like a 5/5 to a 3/3, which isn't usually worth a card. And Incubation doesn't see enough cards to like give you a real choice, because a lot of the time, you're going to be like just taking like a medium card versus a bad card. Ooh, Gift of Strength came back. So, another Goblin Gathering, jeez. So, I think, oh, another Gift of Strength. Jeez, we really got there on the combat tricks. So I think that the downside with the Incubation is it's basically like pay 1 mana to draw a random creature from your deck a lot of the time. If you have a good enough creature, that can be worth it, but a lot of the times it's not going to be worth it. Okay, so let's look at this. We have 15 creatures right now. Probably want to stay around 15 creatures. These Goblin Gatherings make me sad. I wonder how many I could get if I really tried hard for it. None of our sideboard cards are super inspiring, so we're probably just working with what we got in the main deck, which isn't a problem. So this is a land, so we have 27 playables. We're going to run around 17 lands in this deck, maybe 16, just because of the way our curve works out and because of our Burning Tree Vandals being able to help us with flooding and stuff. I could see this being a 16-land deck. Definitely don't want Spike Wheel Acrobat, I think. I think that's one of our worst cards. Maybe I do want Spike Wheel. It helps me attack pretty easily. I don't think I want both Gift of Strengths. This is a 2-drop. Let's move our removal of spells over to the side. This is a combat trick that's really good. This is a removal spell. Combat trick. We have a lot of combat tricks. We're going to cut some of the combat tricks. So this is 5 combat tricks, which is a lot of combat tricks. Skewer the critics' removal, light up the stage is kind of miscellaneous. We'll just put it over there. 5-2 on turn 3 hits really hard, so I think I do want to play the Spike Wheel Acrobat. Also, I do want to have a lot of creatures to work well with my combat tricks, and it also works really nicely with the +4/+2 and trample. That can maybe surprise some opponents. Beastmaster works really nicely with those as well. I like all of my 4-drops, I think, better than the Mammoth Spider, so I'm going to cut the Mammoth Spider. That makes it easier to play 16 lands. Steeple Creeper is pretty medium, but I think it's going to be better than Rebel Slinger in this deck. Though I think I want more creatures, so I think I'm just going to cut one of my combat tricks, and I think I'm going to cut Gift of Strength. Jeez, it's tricky. Actually, I'm going to cut Titanic Brawl. I don't have big enough creatures for it to be super good. Sure, it's nice with the Sorrowform hybrids, but I have a lot of removal effects. I have 4 removal effects, and I have a lot of combat tricks. So I think I'm going to run it like this. Sort by Ravnica, combined groups, sort by color, I mean. And this is a red card. This is a gate. So then we're going to add lands. Definitely don't want any black lands. So this could be the deck. We just run one extra. We have extra mountains. Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. We'd rather draw extra mountains than extra forests. So yeah, this is going to be our deck, I think. Just double checking in the end. This card's kind of close. This card's close. But yeah, overall, I think this is going to be a pretty solid deck, and I hope you'll stay with me for the matches. Hello, and welcome to round 1. This is a fun hand. We have Gore-Clan Wrecker and then 3 combat tricks. We're going to keep it. I mean, you can't really mulligan hands with a mix of lands and spells like this. Got to remove our upkeep stop. That was from last go around. Hopefully this means Gruul and not a Gates deck. I've played against a lot of Gates deck. They get annoying. Like, I've beaten them. I beat them 3 times in a row last time, but still a little bit less fun to just play the same matchup over and over. Creature. You know, when you ask for this, when Zertog Goblin gets played on turn 2, it's unbeatable pretty much. And the fact that I have like Stony Strength and Storm Strike and Collision Colossus to go with it, this is going to be a fun game. He's going to become a 4/4 pretty soon, and things are going to be good. I'm liking where I'm at right now. Hopefully he tries to like skewer the critics hit or something. That would be really good for me. Really good. Looks like he's missing a color or something. Definitely odd. Definitely just going to play our Gore-Clan Wrecker here. There's no reason to take the risk on, there's no reason to like try to protect our 3/3. The 3/3 Menace is going to be just as effective. And he probably can't kill both of our guys here. But this is kind of where you want to be with an aggro deck, because if he does ever play a creature, which is doubtful at this point. Okay, Robopoet Recluse. Sure thing. Yeah, I'm just going to take a turn off of attacking with Zertog Goblin, because it's going to be able to, this guy's going to have to attack me, so it can't, like, defend him. And then I can just do my thing, as they say. I can just kill him next turn, because this is 3, 5, 10, plus 4, plus 3, plus 1. So this thing essentially uses removal on itself. So maybe he's a blue-green deck that's splashing red because he needed finishers, but does not seem great to me. This card is not good, in my opinion. But pretty much this exact situation is why. He needed a 5-drop that could block my stuff. And I could have dealt with it. I could have done like this plus Storm Strike, or this plus Stony... Yeah, this plus Storm Strike was what I would have had to do. But it's really just... the fact that I don't even care about his guy. Sure. So we have 2, 5, 9, 10, 11. No, 10, 11, 12. So let's just attack him. Buff up this guy. And burn him out. And that is how it's done. I mean, he did nothing all game, probably because he was mana screwed, but pretty happy with how that went. What comes to mind? Stony Strength still seems good. Stony Strength is better when you both have small creatures and you're like trading them off, kind of. So maybe I'd rather have Gift of Strength. I think that makes sense to me. I'm going to get rid of Stony Strength Silence for that. Because Stony Strength works best when you're like both have a 2/2, but he doesn't look like he has a bunch of early game. Okay, we have Zertar Goblin on turn 2 again. Pretty great hand here. Okie doke. We have Zertar on turn 2. That is our dream hand. I really love Zertar Goblin. It just feels so good to play on turn 2. And having haste in the late game is actually really relevant. Can like chip in for some extra haste damage. So he's just playing straight teamer, and that's why he couldn't do anything last game, because he had all blue cards. Maybe he should have mulliganed. This is a fine hand. We don't have a third land, but we have all of the we have a ton of like 2-drops we can play, and they're all pretty decent. And if we draw a land here and he plays a card that can't block this, then we can go 2-drop plus Skewer. I really hope I draw a land here. I'm just going to play the Burning Tree Vandal. I really do want to hit land drop, so I'm going to put the counter on it. I don't know a ton about what could be in his deck, but I know that Skitter Eel is a card, and I want to be able to attack and potentially like threaten a trade. I don't want to just have my guy get blanked super easily. Also, no reason to play the Zertar Goblin when I can just play something more mana efficient and then double up with Zertar plus a Sorrowform hybrid next turn, after hopefully hitting my land drop thanks to the aid of Burning Tree Vandal. And I'll be discarding Rubble Slinger. It's my worst card, probably, in my deck. It's just you need to have creatures in order to win games, and Rubble Slinger is like a fine creature. It's just a lot of the time I'll be discarding Rubble Slingers. I have found myself discarding Rubble Slinger many a time. Many a time indeed. Okay, he's got a Simic Locket. Hopefully I can find an extra land so I can double up on threats. Definitely discarding the Rubble Slinger though, even though, because Zertar Goblin for 2 mana is just better than this for 3 mana. Same with Sorrowforms. Oh yeah, that's a really good draw. Okay. He's been able to like keep me stalled out, but he's had to invest some resources into doing that. He used Applied Biomancy just there for literal no value, which is good for me. Sure. This is a spot where a combat trick wouldn't be insane because his 6/6 is so much bigger. He's kind of got to a point where he can stabilize, but I'm not worried overall. I'm just going to keep playing 2 cards a turn. Maybe next turn I'll trade off Zertar Goblin plus Gift of Strength for his guy. 2 for 1 myself, the way he kind of 2 for 1 himself with Biomancy. He's attacking. Well, that is a bold choice, I must say. Bold indeed. Sharkdo Crab that you don't say. Well, definitely going to be attacking him now. He might have another bounce spell, but he already has used a couple, and I think if I don't attack here, I'm just going to find myself falling further and further behind because my guys are just cheaper than his guys, and he's gotten to enough mana to use them. Okay, he just took a massive hit. That's crazy. We're going to play our Rebel Slinger here. If he wants to use his Sharkdo Crab to tap it, he can. He doesn't actually have lethal on board. So, and if he uses Sharkdo Crab, then he would have to have like exactly Gift of Strength. Okay, Growth Spiral. A card that has not performed well in my estimation, and a card that I did not expect to perform super well. So he has all spells in hand, which is a little worrisome, but it also probably means he can't use them too effectively. And we have a ton of creatures. Gift of Strength, we have extra burst from Skewer the Critics. So if any of our creatures get through, we can put an extra 6 damage onto it, which probably means we have lethal next turn. Potentially means we should have played Burning Tree Vandal, but I wanted the option to be able to block Sharkdo Crab and +3/+3. I guess we could have done that with Burning Tree as well. I also didn't necessarily I'd also like having option to haste Burning Tree Vandal, because that could potentially be relevant. Like, for example, if he tried to, I guess Savage Smash would be bad either way. I'm not done on board. This only gets 1 counter. No, you're not bad, Magus of Woe. I've done the exact same thing many times. I've also missed lethal and then died because I killed myself on board. We're only dead on board if they have specifically Gift of Strength. Shire Engineer. Okay, this land makes things really nice for us, so we can just attack with everything. They don't know that our real plan is just to Gift of Strength, buff them out. What are they targeting? Yep, Sorrow Form, that makes sense. So let's just double check that we can kill them. So we attack them, they block here, they block here. This is 4, 7, 10. Dang it. Let's just get in for that extra damage. I think we want to spend all of the cards from our hand. We just want to hold back enough blockers so that we don't just die to his stuff. If this was +4/+2 and trample instead, that'd be much better. But I'm glad this isn't Stony Strength. Wow, this is the literal ideal block for me. Could I kill both of his guys? A little bit worried about Gates Ablaze, but not enough to risk losing over it. Because if I don't play my guys, then they could just win. But now I think I've got him locked up. This guy can become a 6/6. So he'll have to block that. Oh, yes. That's what I like to see. Okay, let's just double check here. We end up killing that with this. He goes to 10. We attack with everything. He blocks here. He takes 2, 4, 6, 9. Perfect. And then even if he has something, we can do that extra 3 with Skewer. He probably does have something here. He does have a lot of mana up. That's lethal, bud, if you block there. Slime Bind! See? He used it as a combat trick, folks. You were right. Boom! We got the match win. I like going for Skewer there because I think that if he had a counterspell, he's going to have no cards left in his hand, and I just win easily anyway. So might as well go for it there and prevent me losing to like bounce spell into combat trick or something like that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the first match, and I hope you'll stay with me for the next one. Hello, and welcome to round 2 on the play because we win the die roll every time, and then mulliganing, and then keeping because we kind of have to, even though this isn't a great hand. But, you know, happens. Put that on top. We just want to make sure we draw 2-drop into 3-drop is a pretty nice start, especially if our opponent's a bit slower, and then we can hopefully leverage this Colossus to get in a lot of extra damage. And then we have that just mana sink with the Gravelhide Goblin, so things are going all right. Playing against the Azorius could be a bit tricky, but this could also just take down a flyer, which is nice. Rebel Slinger is one of our worst cards, but it's still a 3-drop to play on turn 3, which is better than, I think, the average draw. Like, I mean, it's better than a random draw, I think. It's good to just guarantee the curve out. Ooh, Esper. Fancy, fancy. I think I am just going to play the Rebel Slinger here. Developing that will just lead to more damage overall. And then I'm going to probably just try to use Colossus to get through the Concordia Pegasus. Savage Smash is a bit too valuable to waste on it. And Colossus is just going to get through more damage overall. Because he'll block and we'll still get in for 3. Instead of getting in for 2 where if he didn't block or something. Sure. Let's just attack with this guy. Actually, let's attack with both. If he double blocks this, we'll just pump it probably. Oh my goodness. So he's going to hit us for 2 or 3 or something. Or we're not going to kill the Concordia Pegasus right now. We're just going to wait. Okay. Okay. Ooh, that's a really good draw. Just going to put a counter on it for now, but next turn we're going to get feisty with it. Savage Smash this. Still have this up. Better to play your creatures before your removal spells a lot of the time because then you can get in for the extra damage that your creatures have from just being in play. So if I like use these 2 effects to kill this, it's much less efficient, first of all, because I have to use my Colossus in addition to my Arinx, but also I get in for less damage on the hit that I get in. Oh, this is really good for me. I think he forgot I had reach. Got him. They always forget the reach, baby. It's the only word on this card is reach, but they still forget. That's hysterical. They're just sitting there kicking themselves right now, like, oh, shoot, what have I done? Okay. Hopefully he blocks here. 6, 8, 10. Yeah, we're not going to go for the complete lethal here. We could like put him to 2, but it's not really worth it. Okie doke. He's going to tap this down. Or not. No, I did not want to reveal my hand. Boom. He misclicked and didn't tap my guy down. That's what happened there. And that's why he conceded so quickly. Okay. I still don't think I want Titanic Brawl here. Gift of Strength could be nice, but he does have a bunch of small guys, so I think Stony Strength and Storm Strike could just be fine. And I do have one Gift of Strength already, so I think I'm just going to run it back. I do like Dagger Caster in this matchup. Oh, this is a great hand. Oh my goodness. And he's mulliganing. This deck is just incredible. I think that you just end up with really strong decks when you use like the 5-pick method because you're just really flexible, and having strong decks makes Magic fun to play. It's really not fun to play when your deck is getting destroyed. Oh, another great card. Off to a slow start for the opponent. Ooh, that could be bloody for my opponent. Just hit him into Spike Wheel Acrobat on turn 3. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, we're just going to wait. We don't need to kill that right now. We can use our... We can save our Savage Smash. Senate Griffin. Sure thing. And now we have Threat of Activation on our Gravelhide Goblin, so we can... Let's see, game log. He scribed to the bottom. Okay, so we'll play our land, and we will attack. Threat of Activation him. If he wants to trade his Senate Courier for my mana, that's fine, especially because he mulliganed. Perfect. Oh, I get in so much damage if I Gruul Beastmaster, but I'm just going to play the Airings. It's just bigger, and it doesn't lock me into playing my like Savage Smash next turn. Okay, that sucks. But to be fair, it was going to suck either way. Sure. I like getting out the Gruul Beastmaster here with the counter. It's going to open up some nice attacks. It's going to probably make him leave back the Senate Griffin so he can block it, and I can get a nice Savage Smash or Storm Strike play in. This card has been pretty effective from what I've seen, kind of wrecking me multiple times today. Whew. Yikes. That's unfortunate. But see, he doesn't get the extra value from it. Okay, perfect. Hit him. We're going to actually just play our 5-2, because our 5-2 is just the biggest thing we can play. And that will help us swing the race back in our favor. We also might have to Savage Smash soon. Because these flyers are starting to become dangerous to our life total. Really only the 3-2. The 1-4 doesn't matter at all. His last card, Grasping Thrill, definitely going to Savage Smash that. He has no cards in hand. There's really no reason not to. Attack him for 9. I think we are going to cast Storm Strike here. 10 damage here, because we really don't want to draw Gruul Guildgate. Because if he attacks us, then we can hit him for 7. Almost lethal. We do need to draw one of our ways to deal with his stuff. Because this game just didn't play out in a way where we were supposed to kill the Senate Griffin, I don't think. And then just killed us. Yes! Oh, yes, my man. Wow, Rebel Slinger has become incredibly clutch. Like, the clutchest of the clutch is my man Rebel Slinger. Holy smokes. Yes, chump all you want. You cannot run from the Rebel Slinger. Rebel Slinger engaged. He won me both games. No! Oh, thank God. Thank God. Oh, he sacked it. Ooh. That seems really bad to me. One on top, one on bottom. Okay. I'm trying to save my Dagger Caster. If I had another land, I could have threatened to pump on this. So I could have forced him to trade, and then I could have Dagger Castered it down. Oh, he is trading. That's good for me, probably. Unless his final card is another Grasping Thrill, which is definitely scary and could happen. He scried to the top after all. Night Arbiter. It's not what I like to see at all. Land, yes, yes, perfect, perfect. He has to block either this or this. He's probably thinking about Skewer the Critics right now. If so, he would block this, and he would lose to my Dagger Caster, which he doesn't even know I can cast, because looking at my mana, I can't. So I think if I was in this spot, I would block this guy, this Gravelhide Goblin, because I would play around the common Skewer the Critics rather than the uncommon Dagger Caster that he hasn't seen yet. But it's definitely a close decision. And if he doesn't block, he loses because this is 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. He might also opt not to block because he has seen multiple combat tricks that could kill this. He's seen +3/+3, I believe. But I think in this situation, the correct play for him would probably be to either block Rebel Slinger or do no blocks at all. So I'm liking my chances of winning this game. Also, if I'd played my land first, did I just guarantee victory? No, because if I did, okay. So if I played my land pre-combat, then this would be 4-6, and then I would have won guaranteed. But as it is, we do win anyway. No, we don't. I did that math badly. Shoot. No. Crud. Actually, I needed him to block this guy. Shoot. Yeah, there's no way he blocks that guy. That's why I didn't play the land, because I wanted him to block that guy. Okay, so that was a really close game that we could have won, but he top decked at the perfect time at the very end, so oh well. Sagittarius volley, maybe. Kind of like the Sagittarius volley here. Over a Storm Strike. No, Storm Strike's good. Over a... Skew with the critics. No, that's wrong one. I meant Light of the Stage, maybe? I do have a lot of combat tricks. Light of the Stage gets much worse in that situation. Dang, I feel like I should have won that game. I think I played that game well, though. We will go first. We're going to keep this hand. It's really tricky, but we have a removal spell. We have an Arinx. Ugh, shoot. That was a really tricky game. If we had Savage Smashed the 3-2 way earlier, we would have won, but you never know how those are going to work out. Twilight Panther, eh? I don't know why I played Forest instead of this thing. I might just want to kill this Twilight Panther. I probably just want to kill a flyer, though. Counter. I could have given it haste. That was definitely a consideration. Is he going to consume it? That would be bad. Dang, I think last game was the game that I was like, I could have won. He's attacking, which is a bad sign for me, but I'm just going to take it and hope for the best. Oh, he has another one. Okay. A bit greedy. Now I am going to kill it. Attacking was probably a mistake by him. Okay, so if I attack, he's just going to trade off the Twilight Panther. I like making him hold up the mana every turn. So I'm just going to play my 3-3 and my 3-3. My pair of 3-3s. And thus overload him with threats. And then this thing can just activate next turn and get in for a bunch of damage even after it gets blocked. I can pump up this guy, so it gets in for 6. Oh, please no consume. Oh, Debtor's Transport. Oh, no. You know what would be really nice right now is a dagger caster. Okay, that happens sometimes. Okay, but at least I can attack in with this guy and pump him. And I can attack in with this guy and this guy and pump this guy. Attacking with this guy seems a bit bad because he just eats it. But this 3, 6, 10, 13, 16. So maybe if I attack in with this guy and he blocks here, it's just really good for me. No, it's not, because he'll just eat that. I mean, he'll just jump there. But this is good, because then I can attack with these two. This guy buffs this guy. This guy can buff himself. Actually, this guy can buff this guy. No, because this guy can buff himself already. So I'm going to attack like this. I like getting in the hit while this guy can't do anything about it. He goes to 6. That's a low life total, as they say. And if I draw a Dagger Caster now, I win. Oh. Well, I lose. That was a fun game. Yeah. Dang it. We could have totally won this game, like this match last round. Oh, man. Did he gain life with this? No, but he doesn't need to. Dang it. Last game was the one we had to win. We had to use our Savage Smash earlier. The flyer hit us for too much. Oh, goodness. That is really bad for us. Ugh. Dang it. And then he drew the Night Arbiter at the perfect time to beat us last game. Well, that happens. Sometimes you get top decked on, sometimes you make top decks. It happens. But feel a little bit bad to lose that match. I feel like we could have won with a more reasonable draw. And it happens, and I hope you'll stay with me to see what happens in the finals. Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 3. A disappointing loss in round 2, but we have won the die roll, and we have an excellent hand here, so we're just going to win this round and move on with our lives. This is a great hand. Oh my goodness. Ooh, gorgeous. Incubation. There's always the chance that they whiff. Sorrowform hybrid, okay. Yeah, I'm still just going to play my Gravelhide Goblin. He probably won't trade off, but if he does, then I'm fine with that trade. Actually, maybe I'm not supposed to be fine with that trade, considering I have... yeah, no, I'm totally fine with the trade. You want the counter on it because you want it as big as possible for your Savage Smash to be enabled. Let's just attack. Let's discard the Steeple Creeper. We'll wait. Maybe he has a combat trick. This is why you wait. Got him. 2 for 1. Sharkdo Crab, you monster. Land. Oh, no, I missed an attack. I think that was real bad. Ugh, my B. I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, I should have attacked with Gravelhide Goblin first there because he's not going to block and not offer that trade. Okay, Chillbringer's fine. It's actually more than fine. I can kill it for only 2 mana. Land. Zertar Goblin's fine. Let's counter it up. Kill that thing. Put on maximum pressure. And then if he uses his mana to use Sharkdo Crab, then we can just Savage Smash, hopefully play another threat. Okay, so he thinks he can tempo us out, but because we can just Savage Smash his guy, we're going to be in good shape here. Ooh, that was a really disgusting draw. I'm definitely not going to offer the trade with our guy. We missed out on damage there. That was kind of bad. I totally should have just used that guy to Savage Smash. Oh, I'm playing this game a little bit loose. I've missed out on some damage and stuff. Let's hope he doesn't have a counter. That's totally fine. And we're fine trading these off too. Those would have traded anyway. We would rather just replace it with a better creature than use our Storm Strike to save it there. He does get to use his Chillbringer again, which is annoying. But we can haste out a Burning Tree Vandal. Ooh, that's a little bit better. Hey, sup, Connor. How's it going? We are doing all right. We lost a really close match last round. Our opponent, but we've had a really good day overall. I won a draft. Oh my gosh, he has another one? Oh, goodness. That's bad. That's on the bottom. We don't need another one of those. Yeah, that was disgusting. Well, now we know he's out of cards, but, yikes. Yikers. So the damage that we missed this game might come back to haunt us. If he attacks us, we can haste Zertar Goblin, though. So yeah, he's not going to attack. This game's going pretty well, I'd say. We haven't played it perfectly, but can't always play everything perfectly. We're going to get rid of the Sorrowform Hybrid. We just want to play both of our cards. Yeah, he's out of cards. It's good. People might be saying, why would you discard Sorrowful Hybrid? Because we just want to get the maximum amount of power out right now. And also, if we hadn't drawn a land, we would want to be able to play Spike Wheel this turn and then haste this guy the following turn. We just happen to draw a land. But being able to haste this guy is pretty relevant because then any 2 of our guys are lethal. Anyway, that was a pretty easy game 1. And game 2 looks like we're going to want to bring in Sagittarius Volley and take out Stony Strength. Because these guys seem a little bit bigger than ours. Not about the same size. And maybe we would want this thing. And we would want to take out Light Up the Stage. I like these changes. Taking out those 2 cards has been pretty standard for us. But yeah, this looks like a pretty fine scenario. Also, Connor, I got double hosted today. I got hosted for 100 twice by different people. So that was sick. Totally fun. Definitely something I would recommend. This deck is really good. I'm really sad we didn't win that second round. Yeah, it's really awesome. One time it was by this streamer that I kind of know. I know him relatively well for streaming. I watch his stream. And I played against him, actually, and I won an unbelievably close match. Yeah, YouTube's going great as well. If you are currently watching the stream and you haven't seen the YouTube, you can find it there. Command YouTube. But, yeah, YouTube's going well. And then the second host was by Alexander Hain, who's, like, #1 on the constructed rankings for Mythic, apparently, which is pretty insane. And he hosted me, which was nice. But yeah, our opponent's taking a while with their sideboarding. I'm pretty confident in my sideboarding. I think taking out Stony Strength is good. I feel like I'm also just kind of in the zone. I've been playing pretty well today. Mammoth Spider is some consideration, but with only 16 lands, we don't really want a Mammoth Spider. Okay, opponent deciding whether to play first. And they elect to play first, which is correct for them. And I like this hand a lot. Easy keep. Ooh, this Simic Guildgate looks really good in foil. Mystery is beauty. Within the unknown, we plumb revelation. That's a good quote. Oh, yes. The turn 1 Guildgate. The only thing that would be better is if we drew Zertog Goblin. Oh, man. I love calling my shots, and I've totally called shot at a Zertog Goblin earlier. Okay. Good to get off to the right foot here. Oh, he does not have a creature for me to Savage Smash. Oh, there we go. We can just play another Gravelhide. I really wanted to make sure I had to play that turn, so I probably would have Savage Smashed a creature if I could. But here we're just kind of hanging out, waiting for whatever he can dish up. Rentorn, you don't say. We're just going to play the Wrecker here with a counter, because next turn we can activate these and use Storm Strike, so we don't have to 2-for-1 ourselves to kill the Rentorn, which is really nice. And also this guy threatens him a little bit. Chillbringer, Chilly Bee. No, not Chilly Bee. That's not nice. Land? Daggercaster. Not really a land, but similar. We're just going to put this with a counter on it and hope for the best. Things are looking all right here. If he has Gates Ablaze, he one-sided board wipes us for the most part, but... Oh, God. Well, that's bad. Yeah, that's another one-sided board wipe, I will say. Not really happy with how that went. There's the land we were looking for. this point, we just kind of have to get a creature out. I mean, we haven't lost. We can still fight this, use Gift of Strength to kill that. And now we pretty much lost, I think. That was the most brutal flames I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, we lose. Rough. Rough, rough, rough. Hopefully things go better on the play, but that was terrifying, and we know to kill those creatures as fast as we can now. So. Yeah, let's just run it back. I think our deck is well configured for the matchup. But that was a brutal flames. I would like to play first. Solid hand, nothing insane, but we have our Burning Tree Vandal, and we've got a combat trick to go with it, so it can potentially hit in for a couple points of damage. We also have a card that can kill a Chillbringer for 2 mana, which is really nice. Oh yes, top decking the 2-drop feels good, man. We do have a lot of 2-drops, so it's not like super unreasonable, but it always feels good to draw a 2-drop for turn 2. Oh, he got the foil. Maybe that's his only gate, but it feels good to get foils. I'm just going to play this with a counter. I don't want to give it haste. I just want to make it as big as possible. For now, oh, Gyre Engineer is going to eat a Scorch Mark faster than you can say Scorch Mark. And then we are going to discard our forest. We don't really care about having too many lands here, but we just want to draw a mountain. Get rid of Sagittar's Volley. Sure. We will deploy a new one. I think he might have a adaptive biomancy, and that's why he did that, because, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense, because then if we go for a combat trick on that, he buffs it up. Oh, goodness. Mountain? So discarding that forest punishes me, but overall, I think we're still okay. He's going to make this guy into a monster, but that was going to happen anyway. And now he can one-sided Wrath me, but I can just kill that with a 2-for-1 myself, but I'm just going to do it. And sure, he might have a biomancy, but you can't play around everything. Because if he has another adapted biomancy, applied biomancy, I'm screwed. So I kill his stuff. I have a lot of spells in hand. And I put him to 7, so I've almost killed him. I just need to get in 1 hit with this, and then I can kill him with the Dazzle. No, I can't. No. Hey, thank you so much, GRB1P, for the follow. I really appreciate it. Okay, that was glorious. I think this kills him. 5, 9. No, it doesn't, but it's sweet. Boom! So much damage. It's the damage police. He's gonna crack the Simic Locket, maybe? No, it's just a chilly bee. Bringing the chills. There's another mountain I've been looking for. Definitely going to play this as a 3/3, so it can threaten lethal. And it can make this threaten lethal as well. And this thing, if I draw one more land, also is lethal. And Flames doesn't one-sided board wipe me this time. Oh my gosh, that was the most brutal Flames ever. Two lethal threats. Just pass. So he can't cast Flames now. So let's just see what he does. Boom! We get the W. 2-1. Let's go. Overall record today, 7-2. Pretty strong record, I'd say. Pretty strong, especially considering some of the ways we lost. Whew. Anyway, if you are watching this on YouTube, I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, let me know what you thought in the comments section down below, and be sure to check out my Twitch stream. And if you made it all the way to the end, say hashtag Colossus Strength. Yeah, that's a good hashtag to let me know you made it all the way to the end in the comments. But anyway, that is going to do it for this draft video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.